Can you hear it? Yes.
Kinderjorn, süße Kinderjorn. Ewig bleibt ihr wach in mein Sikorn. Wenn ich tracht von eier Zeit, wird mir also bang und leid. Oi, wie schnell bin ich schon alt geworden. Noch steht mir der Stiebel vor die Augen, wo ich bin geboren, aufgezogen. Euch mein Vinkl seh ich dort, steht noch auf demselben Ort. Wie a Cholle ist das alles verflogen. Und mein Mame, ach, wie pfleg sie lieben. Chotsch sie hat in Cheder mir getrieben. Jeder Kniep ist von ihr Hand, mir noch so gut bekannt. Chotsch kein Zeichen ist mir nicht verblieben. Noch seh ich dich, Feigele, du Scheine. Noch kusch ich die Reute wirklich deine. Deine Augen voll mit Chein dringen in mein Herz herein. Ich hab gemeint, du wirst einmal sein meine. Kinderjorn hab ich angewohren. Mein getreue Mame neu verloren. Von der Stub nicht doch kein Fleck. Feigele is euch weg. Oi, wie schnell bin ich schon alt geworden.
Okay, I can share the screen for to read it, and then we will go back to you, okay?
Nina, please let me sing it.
Cookie, it's Theodore Vinkl. Oh, it's Theodore Vinkl. Okay, so Janet, will you please read it?
We have heard Mortke Gebirtag's song Rezela and Sabrent. One verse that Theodore Vinkl didn't sing. I'm reading in the chat. Okay, sorry. Gebirtag was born in Krakow in 1877 to working-class parents. He was an apprentice to a carpenter and worked as a carpenter on and off all his life. He was active in the Bund, the General Jewish Workers' Union in Poland, Lithuania, and Russia. He served in the Austrian army for 6 years and was a popular singer and actor in Yiddish theater. When the Nazis occupied Krakow, he was forced into the ghetto and was murdered while being deported to the Balzac death camp in 1942. Pardon? Murdered while being deported to the Balzac death camp in 1942. His wife and daughters died in the camp. His song, Kinderjorn, Childhood Years, is sung here by Theodore Vinkl. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yes. Okay, Golda, can you read, please? I know you can read.
Sure. Kinderjorn, süße Kinderjorn. Ewig bleibt ihr wach in mein Sikorn. Wenn ich tracht von eier Zeit, zählt mir also Bang und Leid. Oi, wie schnell bin ich schon alt geworden.
Can you
Should
translate
I
it, please?
translate it?
Yes, yes, please.
Children, childhood years, sweet childhood years. Epic life. You'll always remain in my memory. When I think of your time, but he means when I think of my time, I get that, as I bang like I feel so empty and listless. How quickly the years have passed by. I became old.
Yeah. Okay. Maurice, do you have anything to add?
No, that's fine. In the second line, people might wonder about the word wach. Ewig bleibt dir wach in mein Zikoron. Wach literally means awake, but he's saying that the memories are still present in his mind. Okay.
Okay. Golda, go on. Another one.
Okay. Noch steht mir das Stiebel vor die Augen. Pfui, ich bin geboren, aufgezogen. Euch mein Vinkl seh ich dort, steht noch auf demselben Ort. Wie a Cholm ist das alles verflogen. The little house is still standing in before me in my eyes, where I was born and where I was raised. Also, my Vinkl,
Cradle.
my cradle, I see there. It's standing in the very same spot. It's like a dream. Everything went by so fast, flew by.
Okay. Thank you, Golda. Thanks. Okay. So, Bob, can you continue?
Und mein Mama, ach, wie pfleg sie lieben. Kotsch sie hat in Cheder mit mich getrieben. Jeder Knopf, Kniep, ist von ihr Hand mir noch so gut bekannt. Kotsch kein Sehen ist mir nicht verblieben. And my mama, I used to love her, or I used to, you would think he always loved her. I used to love her.
How I always loved her.
Well, how I used to love her. How she trusted me in Cheder.
No.
No, getrieben means
Even if
she forced him to go. Trieben is to drive, like to
How she
drive a
forced
horse.
me.
And Chotch is,
That had to be a very pleasant memory. How she forced me to go
well,
to
Chotch
Cheder.
is,
I'm just thinking personally.
Chotch is although she drove me to the Cheder, right?
Yeah, he forgives her now. Back then he was terrible, I'm sure. Each joint in her hand.
No.
Each
Knip.
Pinch.
Each pinch from her hand.
pinch from her hand.
This.
Each pinch from her hand. I thought it was bump or something like that. Each pinch in her hand. How I remember how I received it. how
No,
I
I
received it well, or is that right?
How
No,
I
recall it well.
Yeah, so it means that he still remembers them.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
familiar. Each
Probably
pinch.
wasn't so good at the time. Although Kein Zegen.
Zeichen.
Mark.
Although no mark remains on me.
Good.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Thanks. Barbara, can you read the song?
Okay, I'll try. Although noch sehe ich dich, Vögel, du Schöne, noch kusch ich die rote Bächlich deine Augen voll mit Tränen, dringen in mein Herz rein. Ich hab gemeint, du wirst amol sein meine. I still see you, Fagela, you beautiful one. I still kiss your red cheeks, your eyes full mit geen charm. Dringen in mijn hart rein. Is that ringing or penetrating my heart? Penetrating.
Good.
Ich hab gemeint, I think you will always be mine.
No, I thought
No.
It's past tense.
Okay.
Argument. I thought.
I
one
always
day you would be
thought.
mine.
I thought you always
mine.
will be mine.
You will be mine someday.
Mine.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Yes, Rafael, yeah.
The dialect in which he's writing this requires that if you want to rhyme it, it's Dushaina, rhymes with Dinah,
Okay.
full mit Chain in Hartzarein.
Okay.
And then, so that's just in order to get it to rhyme. Now, Vinkl chose not to do that, but if you want to do a rhymed interpretation, then you'd have to do it that way.
He must have been a Galiciana.
Well, he lived in Kroka.
Well, he was from Kroke. He was from Galicia. I mean,
He said it
Gebirtig, not Vinkl. Gebirtig was
It's Gebertic.
a Galiciana. He was from Kroke.
The first time I heard Vinkl at a concert, he said, I sing in 20 languages, 16 of them are Yiddish.
That's a good one. Nice. Okay, Bonnie, can you continue?
He had a marvelous,
Okay.
he was humorous. He had a marvelous sense of humor in all his performances.
Okay,
Kinder-
go on.
Kinderjaren hab ich angeweren. Angeweren. Mine, what is it? Is it angeweren?
Ungewollen.
Angeweren. Okay, angeweren. Mein Gestrei. Gestrei. Mammen euch verlieren. Mein verloren.
Yeah, you heard what Rafael said. If it's
There are so many times that there is the oi sound, but then I'm never sure if it's really the oi or they use the.
But if it's angeweuren, it has to be verloren.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it rhymes. Okay. Von der Stub nicht da kein Fleck. Vögel is euch weg. Oi weh. Oi, is that oi weh?
Oi, wie.
Oi weh. Okay. Oi weh. Schnell bis ich schon als geworden.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Can
Okay.
you
Translation.
translate?
I'll try. It's
Okay, and only
Okay, so-
Maurice, just a moment, only Maurice is helping her, okay? Okay.
Okay.
go.
So kinderhood. I have also ungeboren. I'm not sure. Ungeboren.
I'm not sure how you would translate that. Oh,
Dead or,
I don't. Yeah. Ungeboren.
I don't know how you would translate that.
Okay, Rafael raised his hand, so maybe. Rafael, please.
Yeah, I would say it means here to lose.
lose to shed.
Okay, all right, makes sense.
Okay.
How I lost you?
Yes.
Okay. Steve,
Can I?
yes?
Yeah, I just want to ask Rafael. I mean, I know that's the intention, but Voiren is the. Am I mistaken that that's Varen is the root that over? It's almost like overcame you.
No,
Right.
the root is unveren, and it
Unveren,
doesn't
okay.
come from veren to be. It's,
Okay.
I think it might be related to veren to defend, but I'm not sure of that either. Unver is the root there.
I think also it means underappreciated. Okay,
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
I don't know.
That makes a lot of sense. I didn't appreciate it when I was there.
well, what is voiden in itself? Is that's the root, right?
No,
Unvoiren.
it's unver. It's unver ungeboren or ungeboren. I don't know if you go back far enough what you're going to find as the root there, because it looks like it's got on as part of as a separable component.
Yeah.
But at least according to what I've understood, the on is not separable. Ich unver, not ich veron. And it's unusual to have it in the first person, but it's usually in the past tense, geboren, ungeboren.
I see there's a word onver, which means loss. L-O-S-S.
That's right.
Yeah.
Unver as itself as a noun means loss. Exactly.
And loss, lose is onveren, or forfeit, transitive.
That's right.
Ongeboren means to lose.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Rochelle, yes?
Yeah, just from usage, ungeboren, I think implies in some way that it was a slower loss than a quick loss. Like the mom is verloren, you lose that almost immediately. But ungeboren, I think, has a time element to it. Don't know, but that would be the way I would use it. Hab is ungeboren over time. Lose
have
over
lost
time.
you.
Does that make sense?
We don't know.
We don't
Maybe.
know. Okay.
Maybe.
I would say, I have lost you.
Or maybe it's here only for, for the rhyme. Who knows?
No, where do you use it?
We don't know. Okay, thanks, Rochelle. Bonnie, go on.
Yes. Mein Getreie Mommen euch verloren. So I'm not sure what Getreie is. Devoted. Wait, one person. Raphael or someone?
Devoted. My devoted mother.
Devoted, okay. Also, she's lost?
Yes, he lost her too.
It's gone, okay. When der Stub nicht da kein flip. From the house, never is, and I'm not sure, never any, but I don't know what flip is.
Well, literally, fleck is a stain, but he's saying there's not a speck left of the house.
Oh, well, you would say a flip, yeah. Okay. Oi, the
Fegele.
What is it?
Fegele. She's in our Houston Vinkl.
Oh, Fegele is oich weg. Well, Fegele is, I guess, is gone. Right? Yeah. Also gone. Yeah, also gone. I mean, starving.
The gastroenterology department to schedule or reschedule your video.
Guys,
In-person clinic visit, press 1.
Aaron
To
Gould.
schedule your GI procedure, press
I don't want to go to the
Okay.
gastroenterologist.
Oi,
Not
wie
today.
schnell, wie schnell bis ich schon alt geworden. So I don't know. So if quickly
how quickly?
Wie schnell is how fast have I become?
how? Okay, I'm sorry.
Wie schnell,
How fast I am already. So geworden is again is.
Here it's become how I've become old already so fast.
Okay, that.
Okay. Thank you, Bonnie. Okay.
Done.
You're done. Yeah, Rafael, please.
Yeah, there was one verse that, for whatever reason, Vinkl chose to leave out. I would like to read it and translate it if it's okay.
Yes, please.
It's in the chat if you want to find it there. Kinderjahren, junge, schöne Blumen. Childhood years, young, beautiful flowers. Zurück zu mir wird ihr schon mehr nicht kommen. Returning to me, you will never again come. Jahren alte, treurige. Old years, sad years. Kalte, more schreurige. Cold years, depressive years. Haben ihre schönen Platz vernommen. Have taken the place, have taken your beautiful place.
Yeah.
So
I
it's a
think
pretty
that,
sad, they're all sad verses, but that's maybe too sad to include in his
sad.
recording.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes,
yeah, I think,
Barbara.
and excuse me, I'm sorry. I think when Michael gave us the lyrics, he did include that stanza. I did read it in Michael's lyrics, I believe.
But it's
Yes,
not
it
in
was
the,
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was there, but it's not in
Yes.
the PowerPoint. Yeah.
PowerPoint, okay.
Yeah, it's
Thank
not
you.
in the
Thank you,
PowerPoint, so
Rafael.
you know what I have is the PowerPoint. I will stop the share and Marie, if you can put it again, so we will just listen to it once again, please. Nein.
I think that's another
Wenn
song.
mit
That's Drei
Malchus
Töchter.
von Leben selbst der
Marie,
Töchter um
you
mir.
have to go
Okay,
back.
sorry. I didn't realize it had jumped
You have
ahead.
to go back. Sure,
Let
you
me
have to go
adjust
back.
it. Hold on. It's
You,
gonna
you
take a
have to move the
second.
needle to the right
I
groove.
know. I just got to get back there. Okay. Now we're all right, okay?
Yeah.
Kinderjorn, süße Kinderjorn. Ewig bleibt ihr wach in mein Sikorn. Wenn ich tracht von eier Zeit, wird mir so bang und leid. Oi, wie schnell bin ich schon alt geworden. Noch steht mir das Stiebel vor die Augen. Wo ich bin geboren, aufgezogen. Euch mein Wiegel seh ich dort, steht noch auf demselben Ort. Wie a Cholle ist das alles verflogen. Und mein Mame, ach, wie pfleg sie lieben. Chotsch sie hat in Cheder mir getrieben. Jeder Kniep ist von ihr Hand, mir noch so gut bekannt. Chotsch kein Zeichen ist mir nicht verblieben. Noch seh ich dich Fegele, du Scheine. Noch kusch ich die Reute Bäckler deine. Deine Augen voll mit Chein dringen in mein Herz herein. Ich hab gemeint, du wirst einmal sein meine. Kinder Jorn hab ich angewohren. Mein getreue Mame neu verloren. Von der Stub nicht doch kein Fleck. Fegele is euch habe. Oi, wie schnell bin ich schon alt geworden.
Okay, thank you, Mari, for bailing me out. So, any comments someone wants to add to what we just listened? Michael, yes?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that onwerden was commonly used word in business, onwerden in Geschäft. It was when merchants dealt with each other. If it's a way of bargaining, ich will onwerden, I will lose if I do it this way.
Thank
Okay,
you. Hashan
thanks.
Dam.
Can you explain that again, please? I didn't quite follow. I apologize.
Onwerden was commonly used in business when
Right.
you're negotiating. Ich will onwerden in Geschäft. I will lose out if I do this deal.
I see.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, interesting. Any more comments? Yeah, Feigl?
So maybe it would be more like a forfeiture than a loss. It has that more of an economic. So how I've forfeited my childhood years. Would that catch the business like innuendo of it? Profit and loss.
Well, I think that
Could be.
it sounds like the song itself is about, the only good part of my life was that part of it, and everything else turns to dreck. So I guess it's about his loss rather than his love of that time.
Any more comments, guys? Okay. If there aren't any, so we are moving back. We are going back to Argentina and to their Oif Onfens there. And I know that it's difficult. People told me it's difficult to read. I know, but we will do it together because really the story is worth it. So it's here. Let me make it bigger. Okay, that's big enough?
Yes.
Okay, so we stopped here for their mame. Until now, she described the courtyard and she described what's going on, all the nationalities that are there, all the people from all over the place, talking, laughing, cooking together, doing everything together in one small courtyard. And she and her mother just came over, and the husband waited for them, and according to what we read, or I read afterwards, he was already 2 years in this land, and he's probably a peddler. He's going on with all kinds of fabrics over the houses looking for to sell something. And for the mother, and everything is strange. Everything, they cannot get used to the place. Okay, so Father Mamen. Morty, can you start reading, please?
Ja, Vader Mamen was hot mit Herz bared dus nahe Land. As for the mother who talked down this new land, bared dus farn man, she talked it down in front of her husband, farn breeder in front of her brother, for landslide in Bacante, for people from her hometown and from other friends or other people she knew. Vorgeworren as his Atreifeland, thrown away, that this is a treif country, mit treif mention with unholy or bad people. mit Treife Nimese Pirachsen with treif would be a non-kosher, but bad, ugly ways of living, ways of doing things. Sie hat nicht gekannt, vergessen die Bleidigung von der Größen. She couldn't forget the insults from the big ones. I'm not sure who that refers to, but
Yeah,
from
I'm not sure either. Anyone
The
can?
big double bed.
From
You'll see
okay.
from the next, as it goes on, you'll see that's what she's talking
Okay,
about.
okay.
Okay.
So
Doppelbett in ihr Temimis gemeint als kein ärger Sindelwort wie Treif. Doppeln, I suppose that's a
okay,
name.
no, what I think is that the dot here shouldn't be here. And
Should
that
be a
it should
comma.
be for them großen Doppelbett without
Right.
the dot.
The big double bed, right.
The
Yeah.
big double bed. And in her Temimis gemeint, in her
Naive.
modest
Oh.
way of seeing things means as that there could not be a worse insult than treif. Is nicht tun, there isn't. A worse insult than being treif doesn't exist. Und kein ärgerer het wie gehen una hittel, and a greater sin than going around without a hat, reichern im Shabbos, smoking on Shabbat, befrasie.
Befaresia. It's
Befaresia.
Aramaic.
Aramaic,
Before that and not happening.
and not praying.
Right.
Okay, so Faresia is in front of everyone.
Yeah.
That's Faresia.
Not praying in front of everybody.
No,
Can Gurnish
smoking in public.
Yeah, smoking in public.
Yeah.
Smoking in the boys' room.
So also remember, she said the Doppelbett. So probably, back in the old countries, they didn't sleep together. Everyone slept in another bed, and here it's together. There is no place for
I forget where it is in here, but she moans that when she has her period, she has to sleep in the same bed, even though they're not supposed to touch each other. And she's horrified.
Yeah. Can Gurnish gemalt sein, cannot be imagined. Der Mammen is bashert gewein a groise dreist ze ihre Zures. It was destined for the mother a very large dreist, help me there. Dreist
comfort, maybe comfort.
Yeah, comfort. For her pains, Zures, her problems, Vergittigung ihr in dem Naim, Vergittigung. I don't know what.
Compensation.
In compensation for the new fremdem land, for the new strange country. A neue Schreine hat sich hereingezogen in Häuf. A new neighbor moved into the building, to call it something.
Courtyard.
Right, the yard.
In the yard. Actually, the group of homes within an area. In a Frühmorgen hat langen Wogen gebracht zu führen Stois mit Mabel. one early morning, a large wagon brought some furniture,
A stois is a pile
a
of
pile,
furniture.
pile of furniture. Begewegs, perennes. Perennes.
Bebe ve'ech are bags.
Beds.
Bags. And perennes are, you know, the
Covers.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Golda?
What is perennes?
The feather bed. His feather bed.
Feather
Oh.
beds.
Oh, okay. Perennes. Überbetten in Buchenekischen. Bed covers and fat
Down.
Pillows.
Yeah.
Down pillows.
Down
Yeah.
pillows.
Down
Puchen is
pillows.
down.
Down
Down
pillows.
pillows.
Of the Buchenekishens in Verenem on the something
Down
wrong with
pillows.
it. On the pillows and the bed covers, a klein moger Weiber, a small thin woman, was hat gehalt in the arms that held in her hands, wie me halt a klein kind, in the way you hold a small child, a poor groise, geblosene Benchlichter, a couple of large geblosene.
What is geblosene?
Doesn't make sense here.
Maybe
Is it blown
like
out?
glass, blown glass.
Blown out.
Like large, I suppose.
Extinguished, maybe extinguished candles.
No, it's not.
No.
Lichter.
No,
candles.
that's the candlesticks, praying candlesticks. But geblosene doesn't make sense for me either, unless it means fat, like fat or
over large.
Overblown, maybe overblown.
The dictionary says benediction candlesticks.
Yeah, but that's Benchlichter,
That's the bench.
not geblosene.
Yeah. Oh, good. Okay.
Okay, Rafael, do you have a suggestion?
I'm not sure if oil is still there.
No, I'm here. Yeah, I went off for a coffee for a bit. No, I don't have a suggestion. It might mean something like worn out, but I don't see how.
Geblosene worn out?
Wouldn't it be blown up? Geblosen is something that's blown up.
It can mean inflated or blown
Yeah,
into a
inflate.
pile.
Yeah, so
I think-
maybe
I think my mother said something about ungeblosen was somebody that was
Blowing on
upset.
something.
Yeah, upset.
Yeah, but that doesn't work. Here.
No, doesn't translate. Okay.
Doesn't translate.
Anyway, it refers to the candles.
To the candles.
To the candle lighting. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Morty.
You're
Louisa,
welcome.
yeah?
Bonnie, you were thinking of ungeblusen.
Yes,
not
yeah.
poison.
Yeah. Okay. Adank.
Thank you, Morty.
Isn't that is upset, right? Yeah. Well, like sad
what you
face.
said, yes.
It's like, sort of like sad face.
Okay, Rachel?
They must have been very big because she's holding them like a baby.
Yeah.
So the Geblosene may describe their size.
Okay.
You know, they used to say ungeblosen if a woman or a person thought they were hot stuff. You're ungeblosen, you know? So it means what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Which
In other words, they were very obvious. It was big and obvious.
Yes.
They were big. They were big. Louisa, yeah?
Yeah, I have a question. Benchlichter would be the actual candle holders?
Yeah,
No,
the candlesticks. Candlesticks.
Oh.
Bench is that you are making
Blessing.
blessing. That you are
Also.
blessing.
Right. So could geblosen mean emblazoned?
No.
No.
No, no.
Isn't
that's-
ungeblosener someone who thinks more of themselves?
Yeah, but this is something that's ungeblosenet. That's geblosenet. So
I
that's
have
something
another.
else.
But could it just
have-
mean fancy?
Maybe. Just a moment, Rafael, I saw that you raised your hand.
Yeah, Louisa was
Organ?
right. It's when we say in English candlestick, what that means is the thing that holds the candle. So yes, it is the candle holders. Right.
If it is the candle holders, couldn't it be emblazoned candle holders?
I don't think emblazoned can mean emblazoned, but maybe maybe it's taking it from a Spanish root instead of from a Germanic root.
I'm going to look it up. And what is traced on the second line in top?
Comfort.
Top.
Trace is comfort here.
Thank you.
Comfort.
So Rafael, you think that so bench lighter would be the candle holders, right?
That's right, which in English we usually call the candlesticks. But
Okay,
yes.
The reason I thought of that is that in Spanish, blasón is some kind of I'll look it up and I'll tell you what it is.
Okay. So let's continue. Das Weibel. Beverly, please.
Das Weibel, the woman, mit reutlich vertrete Egelig. The woman with red, I don't know, what's vertrete? You can't.
Teared.
What?
Teared, crying.
Tears. Eyes.
Oh, tränen. With red, tearful eyes. A pitchinke, right, get nezele, pitching,
It's small.
A small, tiny red nose. A from Schniddevet. Oh, Meilchel. A small, I guess, tiny lips.
No, From is pious.
From is what?
From is pious.
Yeah, a religious, but I don't know.
Schnirrevert, I think that it's closed.
Closed, yeah.
Her mouth, you mean it's her mouth?
A small mouth. A small
Yes.
mouth that is closed in piousness.
Because she's religious. She doesn't talk. Hat after Gier mit die flinke kleine Händler stellt.
Can you show the cursor? Or am I listening to
Yeah,
that?
stellt jede
okay.
in dem Pustenzimmer. So anyway, let's go back. What is Gier? Hat
quickly.
Quickly with the what is flinke? Flinke.
These are flinke.
Small hands.
No, but
Agile.
Flinke,
Agile.
Agile, small handler, small hands. Zerstelt jede. She put every piece of the furniture,
Yes, exactly.
in the special. What's Pusten? Simmer is
Pusten is empty.
in the empty room. In the empty room. Ausgebett die alle Pernes. So, und Kitchens in die zwei schmale Betten bei beide Seiten Wand. So she took the periner, which is the comforter.
Yeah.
And the covers, I guess, or the
Pillows.
And the pillows.
The pillows.
the pillows in the two small beds on both sides of the wall.
When she made the beds. What it says here that she made the beds.
She made up the beds. She made up the beds. Und jeder Sach hat bald bekommen an Aussehen. And everything, every piece would automatically have a special look, I guess. Aussehen. Gleich es wollt von ständig angestanden dort Tacke. just as if it was always there before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Taka. I love that word. After art, wie men hat es weggestellt, on the place where you put it, und nor machmes at Zufall. I don't know what machmes is.
Thanks to.
What?
Not
Thanks
because of an
to.
accident. Not because
By accident.
or not due to.
Not due to.
Not due to auf dem Ort, wo men hat es.
Machmes
Wait,
at Zufall.
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Oder atuus, or a mistake. Hat men es gehat von dort rausgeführt. I'm not sure. I know what it's saying, but I'm not sure what it means. That they took it out of there? They took it out?
It looked that everything was on its place.
Yeah.
From days, from
before.
Always there. And only because, due to a accident or
they took it out. It had been
it looked like
Everything that had been taken out, once again, now, thank God, is in place.
In place.
Right. It's is es wieder. Now it's again. Danken God, thank God, Afanor. Now it has a place.
Okay.
Now,
thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. In Spanish, there is a word blason for a coat. Coats of arms or somehow engraving. So I agree with Barbara that it's probably a very elaborate candle holders with some kind of engraving on top, and that's why it's using maybe that word. But that it comes from heraldry, and it does exist in Spanish and in French and in English, that word, blason.
Okay, makes sense, maybe. Okay, thank you, Beverly. Rafael, please.
Zwischen dem Möbel hat Ethel bald bemerkt a hilzeren Kinderspätele. Among the furniture, Ethel soon noticed a wooden child's little bed. Bemerkt und auf Kirch atracht getan. She noticed and quickly thought as the following. Sie allein hat in Ganzen kein Bettel nicht. She herself had no bed, no little bed at all. Sie schlaft oder auf ein paar zu neu gerückte Stühlen. She sleeps either on a pair of chairs pushed together, oder mit Tata Mame in großen Bett, or with her parents in the big bed, via mall. Sometimes, well, via mall can mean like once upon a time. It can also mean as it might happen. Und das Weibel, that this particular little woman, kein Kind hat sie mit sich nicht gebracht. She had brought no child along with her. Und ein Bettel hat sich von deswegen bei ihr gefunden. But nonetheless, there was a bed that found itself among her possessions. In Ovent haben lichtige Flämmlich von Schabbeslicht herausgeschemeriert von zwischen die verhackte Laden bei dem Weibel in Zimmer. In the evening, the brilliant flames of the Sabbath candles shone forth from between the closed shades in the little woman's room. Und die Mama hat gehabt zu erzählen von Taten. And mother had something to describe to father mit Friedeken Yiddish. With Friedeken Yiddish, with a happy surprise.
Yeah.
Und etwas wie ein Nitzochen dicke der Leichterung. And with a bit of Nitzochen dick is winning.
When you win a war.
Triumphant.
Yeah, triumphant is a good word in English. triumphant.
comes from Nitzachon.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
Or in Yiddish, it comes from Nitzachen.
Mhm.
And der Leichterung is more like an inspiration. Die neue Schreine is a Yiddish kind. This new neighbor, she's Jewish. A kosher Yiddish Tochter. She's a kosher Jewish woman. Was ben schlecht. And she's a woman who recites the prayers for lighting candles for Shabbos. A siman. And here's a sign. Sie hat bald beim Ankommen a Herren Häuf rein sich beklogt par der Mamen. Here's the sign that as soon as she arrived here in this courtyard, she had complained in front of Mother, as sie hat vergessen zu kaufen Licht in Stadt, that she had forgotten to buy candles in the city. Also hat die Mom, hat sie Tage gesagt. That's exactly what she had said. In Stadt, in the city. Gleich wie sie dorten, just as they used to say it over there. In Häuf wollten sich in a Dorf oder in Ergetz and Anderheck gefunden. Let's see, how am I going to do this?
Okay.
In the courtyard, gleich wie sie dorten in Häuf wollten sich in, just as over there in a courtyard back home, I guess,
Mhm.
they would have talked about perhaps a village or some other distant place. I'm not quite sure how to handle that last bit there. But I will remember that when we first came to town here, we had candlesticks, but we had candles, but we had no matches. And I had to go ask the neighbors right before Shabbos, can you lend us some matches? So it's the same sort of thing, I guess.
Okay. Anyone has another suggestion for this sentence?
I could try.
Okay.
Well,
Karen, please.
Dorf is a village, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Karen, please try it.
When the woman came to the courtyard, she complained to Mother that she had forgotten to buy candles in the town.
Mhm.
And that's what this is what Mother said. I'm sorry, what truly, this is what she truly said.
Mhm.
She said in Stadt. So I think it's accentuating that the woman use this phrase in Stadt, just as like they they're in the courtyard, just as if they're in the courtyard would be a little, just would be a little town or somewhere in some other small, remote, faraway place found.
Right.
Okay,
I
I
think
got you
that's
now.
exactly it. That's exactly
Yeah,
it.
I got you now. That
She
was
said
good.
in Stadt as if the place where she was not actually in the city, although it is in the city. It's as if this little courtyard is like a little village.
Oh, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
she
good.
hasn't been out of that little place where she's arrived. She doesn't even know what's around in their area. She only knows this little village, this little courtyard, right? She has no idea what's nearby.
We think
But it's
so.
the person who said it was the neighbor.
The neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah. The neighbor.
Yeah, but the mother is saying, "Oh, this is just how we used to talk in the old country," right?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Karen. That helped. Louisa, yes?
Yeah, there would have been a lot of families there, so we would have had the feeling of it being a village. So they
Right.
were in a village inside the Hoif. It's in Yiddish, of course. In Spanish, in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, those used to be called conventillos,
Mm-hmm.
pronounced conventillos in Buenos Aires Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go today, for example, to Buenos Aires and you visit the very colorful neighborhood of La Boca, if anybody has been there. So that's the area, or there were many other areas where there used to be a lot of those conventillos for the newcomers, for the very poor to the city. So they would have housed a lot of people. So,
okay, thank you. Rafael, can you just another paragraph, please?
This is Karen again. I just want to point out one more thing.
Yes.
Sometimes the verbs are so separated. That final sentence, the latter part of it, wollt sich in Dorf oder in ergens an ander Hek gefunden. The wollt sich gefunden. And so that wollt sich, as if she was located, sich gefunden, as if she was located in a small village or another small remote area.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
It's a condition.
Okay, Rafael, can you another paragraph?
Yes. Die Mama hat sich wie gereizt mit den Taten. Mother was, as it were, arguing with father.
Teasing.
Teasing, okay. Teasing.
Yeah.
Right, thank you.
That's because my mother always used to tell me not to do it.
Yeah, to annoy or to tease. Okay. A Yiddish kind nebach in a fremd land. Und hit von deswegen ja, ab Yiddishkeit. A Jewish, literally child, but a Jewish person, a poor thing, bless her heart, in a strange land, but nonetheless, she is observing Jewish customs. Aber bald hat sie vergessen in dem Netzachen ihren. But soon she forgot about this triumph of hers. Weil sehr a treuerige Meise hat sie im gehat zu erzählen wegen dem Weibel, because she had quite a sad story to recount to him, to the father, about this woman. An Unglück hat mit ihr getroffen. A misfortune had happened to her. Gekommen nicht lang zum Mann von der Heim, that she, I guess the neighbor, had not long ago first just arrived from back home, von wannen it is, a Mensch ist nicht gehat gekommen in America, from wherever it is that a person might have come to America, hat es bei der Mamen geheißen von der Heim. That always mother called from home, back home. Is gekommen ot das Weibel, so that woman had arrived, gefährt a Kindle mit sich. She had brought a little child with her, a Mädele, a girl. Is ihr das Kind auf dem Weg gestorben, but the child had died on the way. Der Mann ihrer, dem Weibels, her husband, that is this woman's husband, der is noch frommer von ihr. He is even more observant than she. Bald beginnen läuft in weitlichen Schulachel davenen. As soon as the sun would rise, he would run to a distant little shul to daven. Eder es geht noch a reis in gas, eder geht noch a reis in gas, even before he would go out verdienen auf Chiyuna, to earn
livelihood.
A livelihood, thank you. Dreht sich herum die Landsleit. He would hang around, that's it. His people from the same place, his Landsleit. Hat das Weibel der Mamen erzählt, the neighbor woman told mother. Wir haben sehr reiche Landsleit. We have very rich people from the same home place, Landsleit. Frume, sehr frume Jiden. Very frum, observant Jews. Jiden Gevirim, rich Jews. Und sehr schaden auf alle Jiden gesagt geworden, was lassen sich nicht fallen an armen Landsmann. On their shadow may it be said about all Jews, not a poor landsman would ever fall on their shadow.
On der Schaden doesn't mean that. On der Schaden
Is it
means.
Shudden, not Shudden? I was translating as Shudden.
I would like to translate that. On der Schaden means without any harm befalling them. May I also have that? It shows you don't have makana.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would
Yeah,
like
that's better.
to have it. Would like to have what they have.
Right. So
Okay,
on der Schaden,
Raphael, can you read that whole sentence the way it should be again?
yeah, where shall I start there? It's a real long sentence.
He would hang around his landslide, the neighbor woman told mother.
Okay, dreht herum die Landslide, hat das Weibel der Mama erzählt. Wir haben sehr reiche Landslide, sehr frumme jeden gewähr ihm und sehr Schaden. Okay, let it not be to their detriment. Auf alle jeden gesagt geworden, may it be said about all Jews.
Yes.
Was losen that fallen on armen landsmen who do not allow a poor landsman to fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
How's that?
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Und der Mann meiner stellt sich zu Tag Alston. And my husband would support them with everything, was sie darfen haben zur Jiddischkeit, that they might need in order to be to carry on Jewish custom.
Yeah, he provides them with the Jewish artifacts.
Right, like their matches for the candles.
Yeah, exactly.
Allein haben sie nebach kein Zeit nicht dazu, vernommene Menschen. But they themselves didn't have any time to bother themselves with that. They were busy folk. Azoi hat die Mama erzählt. That's what mother recounted. Und ausgelost hat sie mit a Sifts, and she ended her story with a sigh. Ay, America, America. Oh, what a terrible place, this America.
Okay, thank you, Raphael. Any questions, any comments until now?
This whole section was quite confusing. It sounds like, okay, one day the next door neighbor lady arrived with all her stuff, and the mother's so happy that she tells the father, oh, a nice from not like you, she's still
exactly. That's what we missed it. It's not like you. She's pious. She gets she's having all the
she's telling the father, oh, you see, you should be doing it like that, right? Yeah. But then suddenly, we don't know exactly when, soon she forgot her triumph because she heard this sad story. So it sounded, this is what was confusing. A man showed up, but it was like that day or at some point in the future.
What a man?
The husband.
No, she had a husband that came there before.
He was there before. That was
there before. It's exactly so. The woman was traveling with a daughter, and the daughter died on the way. But
with the woman,
the husband was there before.
So this is the first time that the husband is learning that the child died when the wife arrives?
We don't know. Probably. We don't know. Morty?
No, I was going to say, yeah, it seems, my feeling is that what she's saying is that the little daughter died on the way, but the man keeps on living his life as he was before.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't give any more information about how the girl died or what the reaction was,
or when they found out,
or when,
or
nothing.
Yeah.
She just goes on to say how the man goes away at early in the morning to daven, and after that he goes out to sell to make a living, but nothing more about the child. So my feeling is that to him it's just
he has to keep on going.
Ha'el natan ve'ha'el lakach. God gave and God took, and that's it. That's the end of it.
There is a continuation to it.
And it also wasn't like today when we have all the doctors and the medication, and they were probably kind of used to, a child dying. I mean, it's not a happy thought, but it would be more commonplace than today.
Yes, you're right. It was more common. Yeah, that's right. Karen, I see you raised your hand before. Karen?
Well, I was just hoping for some clarification, exactly what the sentence meant on the bottom of page 23, what gekommen erst nicht lang zum Mann.
Yeah, it's a really confusing sentence.
Just what those words mean. Does it mean that
she just arrived from the old country?
Yeah, she came back to her husband not long ago.
Not long ago she came to.
Oh, zum Mann. To her
Zum
husband.
Mann.
Thank you.
Zum Mann. Okay.
So the husband was already there when she.
Yes, he was already there. Yeah.
Yes.
So my question is, so this is about our character, which is the mamen. So she's telling her husband about this this new Shane who has arrived.
Yes.
Right.
When you use the word man, it means your husband.
Yes.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah. The husband. Yeah.
But why? But why did she? She's coming with the furniture. If her husband was already there, and she's arranging the room.
Yeah.
Beds.
Okay. Maybe the husband lived in another place. We don't know.
Okay.
They don't elaborate on it, so we don't know.
As the story progresses, we'll find everything out.
Yes, exactly. Yes, you're right, Golda. Marsha, yes?
Yeah, if you could go back where Karen was, there's a sentence there.
Yes.
The Mama and the Tate, the Mama hat sich wie
gereizt.
It is with an as though it were an I. It says a gereist, but I think I've heard it mit gereist mitten that they were arguing. I've heard that.
No, it's to tease.
Gereist is to tease.
To tease. It's
Not
teasing.
argue.
But could it be another word then, gereist? That they were fighting with
What
each
about
other?
great?
It's
No,
the
she's
same
not
word, it's
fighting.
just being pronounced differently.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
But-
what?
It's
Maurice,
just,
what?
it's the same word. It's just being pronounced differently.
Right.
Yeah, but
It
what
is
Marsha,
It's spelled gereizt.
So would that be a Litvakische dialect?
Gereizt would be Litvak. Gereizt would be everything else.
Right. Okay.
It's
The other 15.
I was thinking the same
The
thing.
other 15.
excuse me, it's an idiom, reizen sich mit, and that means to tease or to provoke, stir up
Right.
or irritate.
Right.
because she is teasing him. You see, she said a Jewish child in a foreign land, and still she's holding up Jewish tradition. And it means, the meaning is unlike you, that you don't go to pray, that you don't hold up the Jewish tradition. So that's what it means. Yeah. Okay, so where are we? Ot Ethel nicht gewusst. Michael, please.
Hat Ethel nicht gewusst, so the little girl Ethel didn't know, but was die Mama sitzt, why mother is sighing. Sie weil dem Weiberskind ist auf dem Weg gestorben. Is it because the woman's child died on the way? Sie weil der Mann ihrer darf laufen beginnen in Schillichel, or because this woman's husband has to go first thing in the morning to the synagogue. Sie weil die Reiche, or because the rich, frumme Landsleute, the rich religious relatives, losen nicht fallen.
No, landslides are not relatives, are people from the same town.
Yeah, thank you. The people of the landslide won't let a poor man, a poor landsman, they will not allow a poor landsman to be in trouble, to fall. Und was ist dort schuldig Amerika? And in what way is America guilty here? What's the origin? She also didn't understand why it was America's fault. Der Tate, her father, I think, Weißdeutsch apparently, versteht euch nicht, also doesn't understand. Aber ist zufrieden, but he's satisfied. Zufrieden, satisfied, was die Mama is aufgelegt, that mother is now happier. Redet dick und ze schmeichelt, talking more and smiling. Nimmt Ethel auf die Knie, he takes Ethel on his knees, kitzelt ihr in Bonham mit die weiche blonde Bonses, tickles her face with his soft blonde mustache und lernt ihr das Lied mit die 310 Welten and teaches her the song of the 310 worlds. Was die Mama hat lieb zu hören, that mother likes to hear, and was hat öfter 100 Strophen, and that probably has 100 verses. Also als wenn Ethel hat schon ausgelernt, einer auf auswendig, so that when Ethel has learned one off by heart, vergisst sie die Friedike, she forgets what came before. Der Tate lacht, Dad laughs, sagt, he says, als Ethel hat a groben Kopf, but Ethel isn't too smart. Aber Ethel blicken jetzt nicht in Sinnen die Strophen mit die keines von die Dienim, von die Tayonim und Scheuchtim, but Ethel isn't thinking now about the verses with the complaints of the Dayan, the judges and the slaughterers. She wishes man soll weiterreden wegen der Kleine. She would like them to continue talking about the neighbor. Ort, wenn man Lotzi, wollte sie gehabt zu erzählen. Oh, if they would only let her, she would have quite a lot to tell them.
Go on, Michael.
Bald war Nacht, soon in the evening, noch ankommen nachher in Häufereien, after coming into the courtyard, hat das Weibel mit stiller Trittlich sich hereingestellt zu der Mama in Zimmer. The next door woman came with quiet treads into mother's room. A Kukaton appeared mit die Reuter Artrerta Egalach, glanced at her with her red, tearful eyes. A Vishkaton was kleiner, katerte Nesel, wiped her small, kater guitar, so I take it a runny nose.
Katert is a runny nose, when you know, when mucus is running down.
And a runny nose, mit a pitzel vertscheiligel, was sie hat herausgenommen von einem Arbel with a little handkerchief that she took out from her sleeve. Etwas als bei dem Weibel is etwas als bei dem Weibel is gewesen klein. Everything with this woman was small. Säuber und wie rier mich nicht an. It was clean and please don't touch me.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Rochelle, will you continue?
Ja, sie hat genommen, reden zu der Mamen auf verloschen, was hat etliche
Etlin.
in ganzen to tumult. She started to talk to her. The neighbor started to talk to mother in a language that confused Ethel. Epis is dos given your Yiddish. Somehow it was Yiddish. Und nicht.
Just a moment, I will move it.
Und nicht Yiddish. Somehow it was Yiddish and not Yiddish. Can you move it a little to the right?
The right?
Can you move the whole thing to the right? Because it's cut. No.
The other way.
That's it. Okay.
The other right, you know, it's a problem.
A modne zingendik lotion, a strange sing-songy language, was is given ja zum Lachen. That
I zum Lachen.
Zum Lachen.
was is given I zu lachen. Oh, that was both to laugh, I zu bewundern, and to wonder about. If so viel is das nicht given ehrlich zum Loschen was
Ähnlich.
Ähnlich, okay, ähnlich zum Loschen was Tate Mame, Seide Bobbe und Vetter Mumes haben gerät. It was sing-songy, but it to bewundern, to think about or to wonder about. If so viel is dus nicht given, but in a lot of ways, it wasn't the same as the language that mother and father, grandmother and grandfather, and the aunts and uncles spoke. An Kagan dem Weibels, an Kagan dem Weibels haben der Mames Reid ausgesehen verroste. Proste. In contrast to, I would translate it,
Yes.
mother's words.
No. In
common.
contrast to the language of this of the wife of the neighbor.
Yeah.
The woman, yeah.
The woman, mother's language seemed common.
Common, good.
Okay. Woche dicke und dorfische. Like weekday and villagey.
Yeah.
Like from a village, not from a city. Das Weibel hat untergesungen a bissel beim Reden. Okay, she was sort of sing-songy when she was talking. Gezeugen die Wörter mit a leichten Nigen. She was like stretching the words with a little bit of a melody. Sie hat sie zu der Mamen gesagt, and she said to mother, sie hat sing.
No. Sie hat sie zu der Mama gesagt. She talked to her in third. How do you say?
Third person, yeah.
In third person.
Oh,
She talked to
sie.
her.
Okay, so she
Yeah.
said sie.
Not not in the
Not in the
common
familiar.
Not in the familiar do, but sie, like you know.
Sie, Mamen gesagt.
It's Germanic.
Yeah.
Sie hat sing getan, and then she sang. Haben sie nicht vorlech mir auszuborgen? Do you not have a pair of candles that I can borrow? Hat Ethel gemeint, nimmt sie an a Spitz von Kleid mit 2 Finger und lässt sich weg tanzen übern Zimmer. She takes her skirt or a corner of her skirt or her dress, and she starts dancing across the room.
That's what Ethel is imagining that she may do.
Okay.
Oh.
Because of the zing song.
She's not doing it. Ethel imagines it because she talks like in a singing voice.
Okay. Also Yomtivdik is ihr von die Rede ihre geworden. It became like a holiday from her words. To her, it became like a holiday from her words. These sentences
Okay.
are very
Thank you,
different.
Rochelle. Any question or comments until now?
Do we know what the Yiddish, could she be speaking Hebrew?
No.
What
Z
is this
is a
Yiddish
form of-
and not Yiddish? What do we think
The
is
Z
going
is-
on?
the Z is
It's
German. It's the
of course,
formal-
Yiddish.
In Yiddish, you would say
It's
ear.
not a refined or a learned Yiddish.
It's Dutch-Welsh.
Oh. Maurice, what did you say? Because we didn't.
Ear is the way you would be formal in Yiddish. But Z is Deutsch. It's German. It's Deutsch-Welsh. Z. Haben Sie. Wissen Sie. It's pure German.
Okay.
So she speaks in a more, this next door neighbor starts speaking in this much more refined Yiddish
Oh,
that they
it's Germanic.
probably
I don't know if it's refined.
Oh, okay, Germanic formal Yiddish that they
Right.
both probably knew from the homeland
Right.
and never and hardly ever used.
Right.
Okay.
Not necessarily hardly ever used. The thing is that for this little girl, that Deutschmerisch sounds like a very refined thing. It's not necessarily refined, but to the girl, it seems refined.
Right.
Okay.
And also,
Okay.
when she says, when she's asking to borrow a candelabra, she uses the word lecht and not licht. And I think that lecht also reflects some dialectal difference from what the girl is used to.
Well, left was a Galiciana way of saying licht. Benchen de Lecht. That's what I remember from my Bover.
Yes.
All right.
Me too.
Perhaps one of Theodore Backel's 15 Yiddish languages.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, Barbara and then
So I think I'm missing something. I'm confused. Why is the woman asking to borrow candlesticks if she brought elaborate candlesticks?
No, she has the candlestick, but she doesn't have the
Candles.
Doesn't have the
Okay.
candles.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, she says it earlier she forgot to buy them in the
Right.
city.
Right.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what the reference is. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Vinkl.
Yeah, I had a question about the previous page.
Okay.
That song that she can't remember. There's a song about 1,000, or what is it, 100 and so many worlds with the judges and the butchers
Oh,
arguing. Do we have
teachers are a song of the 310 words or something like that.
Yeah,
What
that's
was that?
What is
That's
that song?
I don't know the song, but it's a song that teaches you probably how
Religious
you
principles.
the religious principles of how to do things
Oh.
according to the
Pedagogical
Jewish
song.
tradition. So there is probably it was made into a song, so children will know it better.
But nobody here knows it. That's interesting.
I don't know. No,
Yeah.
Morty, do you know it?
To me, it doesn't seem like she's talking about the song. I think she's talking more about the regulations. Okay, she uses the word strophen, but I think that if you go to a Seder or a Talmud, you'll see in the Talmud, say, you will see laws written as paragraphs, and those may be what she is referring to.
Maybe the father makes it up to calm her, whenever she needs to be calmed down. He starts telling her, he makes up a little verse about something. Maybe it doesn't exist as a formal thing, but he's just making it up as a way he's found to, comfort her and keep her busy so she doesn't cry.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or just to teach her, or just to teach
And
her.
to teach her at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's talking about the Dayanim and the Shochtim, not which is funny to me because the judges Dayanim but the Shochtim, the slaughters, what would they would know about the laws of killing the animal, but not necessarily other things. So in any case, I think he's talking about the ways, the laws that the father is telling her daughter about.
Okay. Okay, guys, it's 12, so we will stop here and we will continue next time and probably the time afterwards, because I think we still have, it's quite a long story and the complicated ones that we need, to know. So, any comments about it? Any questions or that we can dwell on it now?
It seems.
Yes, I found it interesting that the woman, the wife complains about America when she is in Argentina.
Well, it
But
is America now.
I know, and I was going to tell you, I don't know if I told you the story before, that my grandfather, when he was going away from Europe, he missed his ship and took another ship that was going to America and ended up in Peru.
America,
It was America. And the other thing is that she complains about America, but especially in the early years of the last century, the U.S. was considered the Tre Femenine.
Yeah, well, and she's talking about it, all the typhus stuff, all the things.
Yeah.
In this case, it's not the U.S., it's Argentina, but
It's
all over
Argentina.
it was the same.
They
Because they had left their pious life, their religious life back home and found something or
Well, it
lived
has to
completely
be a shock. I mean, it's the tables are turned. I mean, it's nothing is familiar except
Totally.
now the neighbor.
Yeah.
Mina, what page did we stop today?
25-second paragraph.
Thank you.
I think in the old.
Just a
go ahead.
moment, Bob.
Yeah.
Bob, you wanted to say something before. No? Okay, you are fine. Okay.
But Canadians don't like when people from the United States say, "I'm from America." They don't say, right, Marty?
Well, everybody dislikes that comment. But,
right.
What can you do? They don't like to say, I am from the U.S.
Right.
Even Americans especially don't like Americans, like us.
Because we think we're the only ones.
We are.
Okay. Steve, yeah.
No, I just have to comment on the father calling the child a fathead, which is like, just so we're aware of this, a modern understanding of how the brain functions is that your brain is made up of gray matter, which is the stuff you're born with. And then as you learn, as you create habits, you create myelin, which is a fatty tissue that creates neural pathways. So it's very important to understand that if somebody calls you a fathead, it's a compliment.
Yeah, it's not an insult.
I think in this case it's more akin to what in Yiddish is called a grober mensch.
Right.
Yeah, a grober mensch, yeah.
With the grober tuchus.
That's something else. Yeah.
Louisa, I wanted to add that the issue of saying America for only the United States is really offensive to everybody in the rest of the Americas. So, and we grew up with that, meaning that it's like Americans think that this is the only America or the center of the world. And then they distinguish by saying South America, meaning that's something else, or Central America, that is something else different from America. But we grew up knowing that we were in America.
Well, when I visited South Africa, I was a tango dancer at the time, went to a tango event, and I knew someone there, someone who knew someone. And so they were expecting me. And then they said, and here we have someone from the Americas. And they said the Americas. So that now it's a very interesting point. So they knew where I was from, which was the United States, but they called it the Americas.
Yeah, because we perceive it as extremely disrespectful to imply that the only America is the United States.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, in this part of the world, they see, one America.
Absolutely. So, that's the way the rest of the world sees the continent.
Right. So to your point, yes, but we don't see it that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Marie?
I'm sorry, I can't raise my hand when I'm co-host.
No,
so
I know. Okay, no problem.
so back to the story.
I was just waiting for them to...
till then. So back to the story. I think what's really the big story here is that in the old country, you could count on how your neighbors acted. Everybody, you would assume they do this, they do that. Here, you don't know how people are going to act. Some are going to be frum, some are not good. Some are going to be bad people. That's the shock. Not just that her husband doesn't do it, but she doesn't know what to expect from all these other people. How she can't assume that they're going to be a certain way. She has to, you know what I'm saying? That's the shock of this whole story
that's why they like
the unknown.
But that's why they kept close with their people from their town.
The landslide, so that they could have some assumption that.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Morty?
Yeah. Mariv just used the word that has been bothering me for a long time, and it's landslide. I was trying to find a word in English that translated in one
There
word.
isn't one.
And Luisa will sympathize with what I'm going to say. In Spanish, there is a word, and it's paisano, which means from the same town. Now I found on the internet for that word in Spanish, the translation of compatriot.
No, that's not the same.
It doesn't really equate to the other one, but it's an approximation to one word translation.
My parents always used landsman because there was nothing else.
Because they're Jewish. But if you're talking to somebody who doesn't speak Yiddish, how do you translate that other than saying from the same town?
There's not
there
a
is an
word.
archaic word, countryman, like that. Back in the 1700s, they talk about that, like, he's from Essex country or whatnot. And that so builds into another one I found this really interesting. I've played around a lot with the Pennsylvania Dutch dialect, so think Amish, Pennsylvania Dutch. They also use the term landsman, and while historically that tended to mean people from Schweiz, in the southwest, very close to where Yiddish developed in Germany. All that, today they really mean Anabaptist or people who from a similar background. And so whenever I'd walk up to the Amish in the Walmart in college, I'd start speaking with them auf Deutsch. They'd be completely baffled, and they'd use the term landsman, like "Hallo Landsman, wie geht es dir?" And because I speak Deutsch, so clearly I'm landsman, but I'm not what they think of as landsman.
Okay.
That's a wonderful story.
It's a wonderful story.
Landsman's probably part of the English language by now.
Maybe.
Don't you think?
Wait, what?
Don't you think landsman is part of the English language, countryman?
It definitely is in some areas, but I think in Pennsylvania and Ohio, definitely most people would know what you meant when you said landsman. But in most America, I'd say probably not. Countryman at this point, the last time I can think of seeing that used without any explanation in English is probably from the 1830s. But that's just what I happen to have read. And maybe there's some other usage case I'm not aware of.
Okay.
So there are some shuls. I live very close, like a block away, really, from the old Jewish neighborhood. And there are actually some pretty large houses. Some of them have been made into apartments. But there's some synagogues. There's one synagogue that has Vilna in it. It's written in Yiddish. It's carved in stone. It's beautiful. So definitely the synagogues were formed, with the landsman.
And the burial societies. Also, burial societies.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Karen?
I think landslide, similar would be people from the hood.
That's good. Okay.
My grandfather belonged to a group, and I think it was in English a corporation. I can't say it with a Yiddish accent, but where they would all it was kind of like a burial society. But
there were many. It was how are you going to make sure that you're going to be taken care of? You get together with a group of your people, and then they promise each other they're going to do the proper things when you die, you know.
But it was
There is also something else. Let me tell you. In Israel, the beginning, the first 10 years or so, people that came from Europe always sought landsmans.
Right.
Why? Why? Because they were still looking for relatives.
Yeah.
And they went to the meetings of the landsmen. They were looking, you know, to see who survived. And if someone from the landsmen know about this and that and that. So I remember parents for the first 10 years of my life used to go to those meetings and still look for relatives. So that was in Israel. So
but it's interesting to note that Alvin Edelstein, who's probably not here, maintains the Landsman Society to this day. To this day.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Louisa and then Morty. Louisa.
So going back to what Morty was saying, even in Spanish, I think today or in recent times, even that same word compatriot or paisano among non-Jews would refer in Argentina, for example, to those who are the gauchos working the lands, people that come from the agricultural places. But among Jews, a paisano would be one of us. Mm-hmm. So it is a word that has a lot of connotations based on the groups that are using that particular word, I think.
Well, we hear a similar word in Italian. Paisan, yeah.
And the other thing that I wanted to mention was that also what's happening in this story is showing that maybe the people the Jews who came to the United States were able to live in their own segregated environments or areas. But what we see here is those Jews that are coming from overseas mixing with the locals in those conventillos, right? Mm-hmm. In Buenos Aires, for example. And there's also the factor that many of those became either were leaning secular before or they became secular in that environment, because in many ways the environment forced them to be secular, or because of ideological reasons. Because remember that most of the population of the Jews in Argentina were, and I'm talking a little bit later, Zionists. You know, it was the generation of Ben-Gurion with those kinds of ideals, and they were not particularly interested in religion. They were interested in the politics, ethnic elements of being a Jew, in the national story of being Jewish, as opposed to being very observant. So there's a clash there between religion and those who ended up basically abandoning religion, because in Argentina, Jews did not measure themselves for their observance like they do in the United States.
So, Daniela, can you tell the group what you wrote in the chat, and then Morty? Daniela, can you tell us?
Yeah, I am not sure if you can hear me. There is a similar word in Italian, especially in southern Italy, but it more or less means someone from the same area of origin. Yeah. In this connotation, same city, same town, same neighborhood. In this connotation, however, I only heard it here from my relatives in Uruguay, in Montevideo. In Montevideo, also some of them lived in the north of Uruguay, next to the Brazilian border. So I believe in South America, at least, it's rather universal in this accession.
Okay.
Not sure how you say this word in this connotation.
Okay. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Morty?
Yeah, another aspect in this story reminded me of something. I very much remember when I was little, I would ask for my grandfather, and my grandmother would say, "It is a Weckenstut."
Yeah.
And we lived in the same city, but the downtown, the
Was in
commercial
Stutt.
area was called the Stutt,
Yeah.
as different from the rest. So when it was the same case here when the woman says that she forgot to buy the candles in the city in Stutt, is the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's we lived in a suburb of Petach Tikva, but when we went to the center, Megait in Stutterei.
Yeah, Megait in Stutt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luisa?
I wanted to answer to Daniela, and in that the word paese in Italian means village. It's a false cognate with the way it's used in South American Spanish, because paese means village in Italian, but país in Spanish means country. So there's a difference there. When you say I'm coming from the same paese, as opposed to saying the same país in Spanish. So Italian has another meaning for it.
Okay, guys, I think
In Italian, however, paese might also mean country.
You're right. But I was drawing the distinction because I've heard many people say something about from the same paese, meaning the same village or town.
Okay, guys, thank you very much, everyone. It was a very interesting session. I know this story gets us to a lot of other, areas. So we will continue reading it next week and probably the week after. It's a long story. We cannot rush it,
Fascinating.
It's a fascinating story with a lot of, areas to discuss, topics to discuss. So sei mir alle gesinnt und wir sehen noch eine Woche.
Mirza Shem.
Mirza Shem, wir sehen noch eine Woche.
Bye,
Bye, everyone.